Hi, my name is Jin, and today we're going to learn how to do the cross step on a longboard. The cross step is one of the most fundamental steps in longboard dancing, and I'd recommend learning it pretty early on along with the 180 step. It serves as the fundamental basis for a lot of different steps to start off your lines, and it can be integrated into a lot of different combinations down the road. First, let's start off with just learning the steps. To do the cross step, start with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Bring the front foot next to the back foot, like so. Cross the back foot over the front foot. And finally, bring the front foot by uncrossing it behind the back foot back to the front, like so, and bringing the back foot to its original position. As you might be able to appreciate, doing the steps on a stationary board or on the floor isn't really all that difficult. What makes the cross step difficult is maintaining the balance that's required to move your steps in this pattern while on a moving board. To break this down, we have two dimensions or directions of motion while we're on the board. We have forward and backward, and we have heel side and toe side. When we lean too far towards the heel side or towards the toe side, we end up into a carve. I made a whole different video on carving if this is something that's sounding a little bit unfamiliar to you. If we lean too far forward or too far backward, then we end up falling off the board, either forward or in the backward direction, sending the board flying the opposite way. What's difficult about the cross step is maintaining our balance in both of these directions, both toe side and heel side, and forward and backward while we're doing the steps on the board. To make learning the cross step a little bit easier, we're going to focus on just that forward and backward direction by minimizing how far we lean in both the heel side and the toe side direction. We do this by controlling our foot placement rather carefully. Let me show you what I mean. As I'm doing these steps, I'm taking care to place my feet towards the center of the board. By doing so, I minimize the weight that I'm putting on both the heel side and the toe side edges of the board while doing the step. Thus, I prevent any carving from happening. While doing this, I can focus on how to distribute my weight in that long axis, the back and forward motion, to figure out how to keep my balance while doing the steps on a moving board. As I'm doing these steps, I'm taking care to keep my head over my toes at all times. This ensures that my center of balance is centered over my feet, and so that I don't lean too far forward or too far backwards. If this happens, as we discussed, I'll fall forward or backward, and the board will shoot out under me in the opposite direction. Additionally, I'm trying my best to keep a very even, steady rhythm. I know it might be scary at first, but make sure that you just try to put one step in front of the other, keeping that steady rhythm going. It's okay for it to be slow, especially starting off, but let's try to keep it nice and consistent to start off. Also, I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping my knees bent throughout the entire step. It might be a little bit awkward at first, keeping your knees bent while your legs are crossed, but do the motion slowly, over and over, and over time, you'll get the hang of it. It can be helpful to play with the angle that you're keeping your feet at on the board. For example, doing the cross step like this, my feet are closer to 45 degrees relative to the board rather than straight perpendicular. Some people find it easier to balance with their feet positioned like so. As you become more and more comfortable with the cross step, we can start progressing into polishing the cross step to make it look as smooth and stylish as possible. The first step to achieving this is to start by adding some carves to the cross step. When we're starting off learning the cross step, our feet movement is like so. Feet close to the center of the board. When we're polishing up the cross step, we're stepping much closer to the edge of the board, like so. In terms of the carves, I like to initiate the initial toe side carve with the back leg, leaning forward, putting my weight on my toes, like so. Then I bring the front leg back and transferring my weight into the toes or the balls of my feet of the left foot. As I cross over, I transfer again into the ball of my right foot, uncross, and I like to place the ball of my foot on the toe side edge. Here I distribute my weight into the toe side edge and bring the back foot backward. Like so, we get the toe side into the heel side, into the toe side carves. But we can also integrate our shoulders to help with the balance and to help with the style of the step. when we do the toe side pre-carve, closing up the shoulders, when we do the cross step on the heel side edge, opening up the shoulders, and finally as we close off the cross step, starting again by closing off the shoulders. There are an infinite number of combinations and variations of the cross step that you can explore or invent. Some of the more popular ones include the cross step, the reverse cross step, the cross step over, the bop it, and so on. As you become more and more comfortable, try to integrate the cross step into lines. Some samples might be doing a cross step into a reverse pivot, or doing a ghost ride into a cross step. I'd encourage you to explore the different variations of the cross step and combinations that you can make with it, and make something of your own. This is the way that I understand the cross step, and the way that I've broken it down in my head. I tried to explain it the best as I can, but I'm very much open to feedback. If anything didn't make sense or could have been explained a little bit more clearly, please let me know in the comments below. And I hope this video was helpful.